Hello, everyone. Hope you're well on this Thursday evening. I can't stress enough how important it is to stay on top of your preps, keep stocking up your pantry, keep stocking up your water, your beans, seeds, and band-aids, so to speak. Okay. There's just so much going on in this world of ours right now. I'm going to concentrate on April 8th. Should we be worried about the eclipse and what will go on that day? I'll go into that, give you my take on it. Also, I just saw this earlier come across that another huge caravan, thousands upon thousands of people are in a caravan flowing up from our south, heading towards El Paso, Texas. Said it should be here within the next few days. So probably sometime over the weekend or Monday or early next week. And that's another thing. Also, things are happening. This will be for another video, but there's a lot of developments, especially in the last 24 hours between Russia and NATO. And that is not going in a good direction, y'all. That is going in a very bad direction. I'm not going to go into details right now. I'm keeping an eye on that. Um, I know a lot of people aren't really following that. They've fallen off the trail on that because it's just been ongoing now. That war has been going for, what, a couple of years now. So I know for a while I wasn't following it. But it doesn't look good. And the direction it's going in, it will absolutely affect us. And I'm getting to where I'm really, really concerned about it. I mean, super concerned. Okay. So I'm going to keep an eye on that situation, though. Okay. Okay. Deep breath. But first, quickly, the bridge collapse. I don't think we can underestimate how much of an impact that could make on us as a nation economically. First of all, how long is that thing going to sit there before they can actually rebuild that bridge? From what I understand, it was originally built in 1977. That thing went down like a cheap suit the way it folded. And that's kind of scary the way it went down. And I know there's a lot of theories on it. I know there's a lot out there about what happened. Was it an accident? Was it not an accident? At this point, personally, I don't believe it was an accident. I don't believe it was an accident, personally. However, let's go beyond that. It happened. So how can we prepare? How or can we prepare for the ramifications of that? I would keep stocking up on your staples, and this is for many reasons, of course, but we could see supply chain disruptions or at the very least delays on a lot of things. That bridge was a major corridor for hazmat transportation, diesel fuel for one, and it was a major link to link up a lot of cities in the Northeast. I mean, Philadelphia, New York, DC, Baltimore, just to name some. So it will have an impact. A lot of questions swirling around that thing, I know. Um, Also, should we be worried about this eclipse? April 8th, and this is a total solar eclipse that will occur on April 8th, depending on where you are. I know on Eastern time here where we're located, from what I read earlier, it would occur around mid to late afternoon, 3:30ish or so. I'll be working and driving around at that time, of course. But share your thoughts about, are you worried about it? Should we be worried? What do you think will occur? Will it just be an eclipse, just like the last one was, where people made a big deal? Oh, we're going to go look at it. And we're going to have those little glasses on, the sunglasses that they make to protect your eyes from the UV and all that. That was in 2017. I remember that. Parking lot parties, where you walk out there and look at it. And in 2017, that's all it was. We just did that and went about our day, and the next day was a normal day, right? So will this be the same? It could be, or it could be something totally different. It could be a black swan event. It could be something to where bad actors take advantage of this situation to pull something off that is very nefarious. That's very possible. I know some people are worried about that. It could be a false flag type of opportunity as well. Um, I'm hearing predictions, I'm hearing things, and I'm sure you probably have as well, from anything from this the end of the world to another flood coming to the rapture. It, from A to Z. Okay. 1 million people are expected to surge into the Dallas-Fort Worth area that day or before, probably. That's a lot of extra people in a certain area. That's in the path of the totality, what they call, that will go dark for about, from what I heard, about 5 minutes maybe. A lot of towns and even small localities are expecting huge crowds to influx to come in along the path of this totality. And they're worried about it draining their resources. A lot of counties have already declared a state of emergency. A lot of them are saying that the National Guard is activated for this. Cell service, your cell phone service may be out, not work. Debit card, credit cards, point of sale may not work, is what I'm hearing as well. Power outage, especially in Texas. They're saying you can see some power outages or fluctuations, or at least temporarily. I don't remember all this happening in 2017. I mean, the way the government, way they're describing it, I mean, is it a war or just an eclipse? I mean, you have to ask yourself that. That's what I'm asking myself. But when the government comes out and says that you need to stock up on food and water, fuel, and supplies ahead of this event, that does make me pull up and notice now. Because when the government is saying that, because usually when we say that, they say we're nuts. But now they're saying that many local governments are saying stock up on food, water, fuel, especially along the path of where a lot of people are trying to go in here and watch this thing. Again, I think they're worried about this big influx of people flowing into small town areas that aren't used to that many people in there at one time, to literally eat up their resources, fuel, food, you name it. Is there more to this? Is there something more nefarious? Is there something more supernatural? We don't really know for sure. I'm inclined to believe that it's just going to be an eclipse and life will go on. However, being alive in the last several years, since what, 2020 or so, we know that the unexpected can happen, and the world has turned upside down, and we've been in the twilight zone. So I think we should prepare. A lot of us that are listening to this video, you keep a good eye on your preps already. Depending on where you live, if you live in these areas that are expecting large crowds, I would be, I would not, I would avoid large crowds, large gatherings personally. You want to go out and look at it? Cool. I wouldn't be around large groupings. I just feel like there is that possibility that a bad actor or something could happen. I'm not saying that it is. It's always a possibility. I mean, when they're talking about National Guard and stocking up on supplies, okay, what's going on? False flag, maybe? Uh, and then I also heard something. Now, I haven't verified this. I hear, in other publications yet, but I hear some people talking about how CERN is also starting up in Europe on that same day, April 8th, which is very interesting if that's happening, and that they are saying that They're going to start back up their complex nuclear and particle physics experiments. That is where that big collider, that atom collider. I'm not a scientist, but CERN, CERN, the large, it's like this huge, large particle collider thing that they're doing experiments with. No telling what they're conjuring up. I don't know what they're conjuring up in that thing. It's underground. But there were also reports, I know some years back, where people were worried that they were going to create a tiny black hole. I mean, there's no telling what they're doing. No telling what they're doing in that thing. But again, I would stay away from large crowds. Keep a stock, especially if you live in these areas, you know, for Texas, I think part of Oklahoma, I can't remember the other states. But yeah, keep your fuel topped off in your vehicles just in case. You know, keep in your homes, be ready for at least just a temporary power outage, if not longer than just temporary. So power outage or preps, fuel, your food, your water, your self-defense, your security, okay? Your main things. Again, beans, seeds, and Band-Aids, of course. Is it just me? I know this is shifting gears. Is it just me, or I've noticed things are definitely off, just in general. It's hard to describe, but I've also noticed a big uptick in just the sound of sirens and emergency vehicles, rather. Not just around where I work, but out here, actually close to where we live, which is unusual. And I've just noticed it more lately. A big uptick. There's a lot going on with people. And I think we're in a huge battle with evil right now. We are in a spiritual war like no other. I know I keep saying it. I've been saying it, but I know that's the case. I know it is. I'm going to go to a passage. All right. This is first, go to the passage, and then I will give a little more information on that. And I had it pulled up. Here we go. This is from John chapter 13, verse 14. From the words of Jesus. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. Jesus, even as he knew what was coming, was the example of a servant leader. He wasn't too good to wash the feet of others, his disciples. And what an example to live by, to strive to be like. Also, Gethsemane, we're on Thursday of Holy Week. In the quiet garden of Gethsemane, Jesus confronted the weight of humanity's sins. Alone and in deep anguish, he prayed fervently, sweating drops of blood. The betrayer, Judas, led the authorities to arrest Jesus, marking the somber beginning of his journey to the cross. Gethsemane became a sacred ground where humanity's redemption hung in the balance. Jesus knew what was coming. He knew what was going on. That had to be, I can't imagine what that had to be like. But thank God he became that sacrifice, the lamb, for us, for all of us. Let's keep that in mind. I hope that was helpful. Share your thoughts. Share your thoughts on these topics. April 8th. What's going to happen? Let's be safe out there. Be safe. Stay close to Jesus. God bless you. I'll see you soon.